In Lesson 6.4, Day 1, Example 1, you will solve systems of equations by elimination with multiplication. Step 1 is to multiply at least one equation by a constant to get two equations that contain opposite terms. Once you have opposite terms, you can add the equations together, which will eliminate one of the variables, and then you will solve it for the other variable. The last step is to substitute your answer from step 2 into one of the equations to solve for the other variable. Then you write your solution as an ordered pair. In our first example, if I take this bottom equation and multiply everything by -2, I will have an equation equivalent to what I started with, but I will then have opposite terms right here with my y's, which will allow me to eliminate the y's. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this system. The first equation is going to stay the same, 5x plus 6y equals -8. And the bottom equation, -2 times 2x is -4x. And then -2 times 3y is a -6y. And a -2 times a -5 is a +10. Now I want to go ahead and add this second equation to the first one. 5x plus a -4x is just 1x. And then -6y plus a 6y plus a -6y is 0y. And then -8 plus 10 is 2. So we have x equals 2, which is halfway to our solution. Now I'm going to plug this into one of the equations. I'm going to go ahead and plug it into this bottom one, substituting 2 for x. So 2 times 2 plus 3y equals -5. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 3y equals -5. Now to get the y alone, I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. And then I'm left with 3y equals -5, take away 4 more is -9, divided by 3 to get 1y equals -3. So now the solution is 2, -3. That's the one point that works in both equations. And you can check it by plugging in 2 for x and -3 for y. 5 times 2 is 10. 6 times -3 is -18. 10 plus -18 is -8. Down here, 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times -3 is -9. 4 plus -9 equals -5. We have a winner. The correct answer, or the solution to this system, is 2, -3. Now you may want to pause the video and try this next example on your own. Now if I want to end up with opposite coefficients on one of the variables, the quickest way to get there would be to multiply this bottom equation by -2. Now I know we did that in our last example as well. That's just a coincidence. It doesn't mean you're always going to multiply by -2. That's just what we need to do here to get our x's to be opposites. So the top equation is going to stay 6x minus 2y equals 10. The bottom equation is going to be -2 times 3, which is -6x. And then -2 times -7y is +14y. And then -2 times -19, that's going to be a +38. Now we're going to go ahead and add these two equations together. 6x plus a -6x is 0x. -2y plus 14y is 12y. And then 10 plus 38, that's 48. Divide both sides by 12. And we end up with y equals 4. We're halfway there. Now let's take that answer and plug it into one of these equations. Let's go ahead and use the first one this time. Let's plug -4 in for y. So 6x minus 2 times 4 equals 10. So we end up with 6x minus 8 equals 10. Now to get x alone, we're going to add 8 to both sides. So we end up with 6x equals 18. Divide both sides by 6 to get 1x. 1x is equal to 3. There's the other half of our solution. Now we write it as an ordered pair with the x value followed by the y value. The answer to the system is 3, 4. Once again, you can check this by plugging in 3 for x and 4 for y into both equations, and it should work out.